Hello and welcome to another episode of In the Studio. Today I'm joined by Sheila Halliwell, who's going to show us this really cool denim card, which would be perfect for a teenager in your life. Hi Sheila, welcome along.
Hello, thank
Now
you.
You've got a very cool card to show us today.
Yeah, perfect for a teenager or a young person,
Definitely.
girl or boy.
Brilliant. Okay, right, let's get started. What's first?
Okay, so we made this on a 5x7, 7x5 card
Okay.
blank. Okay, we're going to do it like portrait style. And what I'm going to do is incorporate some orange into it, so it's not just a flat blue.
Lovely.
So we're going to use some of the bright orange Paper Mania textured card. Press that into position. And then I'm going to trim that with my large scissors.
Lovely.
The next step is to add some paper. So I've taken a piece from the Parisian Blue capsule collection.
Oh, yes.
From an 8x8 sheet, and I've cut it slightly smaller so that we have a visible orange image. You'll see I've also added some die cut letters, and we're not spelling anything out in particular, we're just adding a little bit of a funky feel to it. Okay, so now we can attach that onto the front. Just making sure it's nice and even. And press it down firmly. So again, I've taken some different shades of blue from the textured cardstock.
Okay.
And I've also got an oval, which I've die cut using an X-cut nesting die. What I want to do is cut a pocket that you have just below the waistband. I did try using something like tape like this, but it's too rounded. So we've gone for an oval, so it gives us that nice pocket shape. So first of all, what I'll do is I'll actually just draw around the edge of that. So we're just using it as a template.
Lovely.
And then we'll take the scissors and we'll just trim that section off. So what we've got here now, we've got a darker shade of blue, which we're going to put on top, underneath, and we're going to place this on top. Before we do that, we need to give it that denim look. So what we're going to do is actually take some blue ink and some white pigment ink, and we're going to do a little bit of a mix on here to try and make it look like it's a little bit patchy almost. So if we take a little bit of blue and apply it lightly, so don't go too crazy with it, just so it gives that washed out look and worn look. So we've got a bit of blue on there, and then we'll do the same with some white. So white pigment ink. And again, I'm going to use the stamp pad foam as well, because if I put that ink pad on there, it would then end up with blue ink on it, and it would be quite messy. So a little bit of white here and there, and I'm just doing it randomly so it doesn't, appear to be too neat.
No, that's really effective.
Just gives that texture of denim. Okay, so once we finish the inking section, then what I need to do is add some stitching. As you know, jeans always have stitching. Yeah. So what we're going to do is I'm not going to do stitches because we have a thick nib, so I'm just going to do lines. So we're just going to do a double line around the pocket, and then we're going to have a single line down here, and then we don't need to do the top section because we're going to have a waistband here as well. So the next thing to do now is to attach that onto here. And then this will sit on top of here, and we just need to line that up. So again, I've already cut a couple of little rectangular pieces. So for the panel of the zip, what I've done is cut a rectangle, and then I've just trimmed it slightly to an angle, so you can actually see here that it kind of forms that zip enclosure bit. And again, we need to add some stitching onto there. So we're going to do a line all the way around. So the next thing we're going to do is add the waistband. So I've already cut it to the same size as this, which is 10.5 centimetres. Okay, and again, what we're going to do, we're not going to ink this, but because we're going to be covering it with a belt, in effect. So to make the belt, we have taken a really dark blue piece of textured cardstock, and that is going to sit on there as the belt.
Lovely.
And then we're using some of our new ribbon from the new denim collection.
Lovely.
Now what I'm going to do is go right along to the edge, because I'm not sure how long I need it to be, so I can trim it once I've decided how long we need that belt. And it's better to put your tape on your card rather than on your ribbon. If you put it on your ribbon sometimes goes a little bit warped and out of shape.
Okay.
So if you're doing that, if you're adding ribbon, it's sensible to do the tape on
That's
the
the way
card.
around to do it then.
Yeah. Now obviously we need something to keep the belt in place. So we're going to we need some belt loops. Okay, so little strips of the same paper, and again what I'm going to do here is put these on first and then add a little bit of the orange stitching on there, like this, and that will keep that on there. And then we'll repeat that. So we'll take our pen, and again we're just going to do little lines all the way around like they've been stitched. Okay.
Very nice.
So we've now got our belt. So what I'm going to do now is draw a line along here. So we've got our belt loops on there. So I'm going to have 2 belt loops together and then one on its own, because I actually have some jeans like that. So that works quite well. So we have a single loop and then a double loop like that. So what I'm going to do now is I just want to fold that around and I want to trim some of that off. And I'll do this with my bigger scissors. And then we can actually take this down here.
I see.
And we can just make sure that's kind of in the centre of the belt.
Very nice.
Right, so we're going to have our double loop at the end here. And just make sure we pop that under there like that. And then we're going to attach this with some foam tape again, so it's slightly raised. So as you apply the foam tape now, you know that that's going to hold your belt loops in place as well.
Oh, I see. So you don't need to glue those in separately.
No,
That's
so
good.
we can, that will hold those in place like that.
Fantastic.
Okay, and then a tiny little piece of tape just to go under the front end of the belt. And just press that down as well so it's nice and firm. Okay.
Very nice.
So what we're going to do now with this is we're going to stick this onto the card here. There we go. So that's
very nice
even.
indeed.
Okay, so to make the little music player and the headphones, you need some little scraps of card and also a tiny little piece of acetate and then some twine.
Okay.
And what I've done is I've cut 2 lengths of twine, almost the same length. And what I want to do is create headphones with like a separate strand.
Okay.
So the easiest way I found to do it is not to actually tie it into a knot, but to wrap the twine over there. So we're wrapping one piece over the other.
Okay.
And then apply a blob of tacky glue and just hold that together. And as that dries, it will dry clear, it will dry quite hard. So to do the music player, what I've done is cut 2 rectangles the same size.
Okay.
So we're going to use the X-cut corner punch to round the corners.
Really good.
Okay, so we now have the right shape. And then I've taken a little piece of darker blue card. And again, we're going to round the corners of that. Then to make it more realistic, we want to put a little piece of acetate over the top. Now acetate, if we glued it onto there, the glue would show through and it wouldn't bond because it's kind of, there's nothing to soak into.
Yeah.
So the best thing I found to do is to do a little fold on the acetate, so it actually folds over the back.
Oh, I see.
And then the same on this side. Okay, and then slide that little panel out and take your scissors and just snip these ends away here so that that folds around the back and we don't see it. And the same on that side, like that. And then we can apply that now with some double-sided tape. And then we can slide our little panel into the acetate that we just cut, and that then gives us our little kind of glass window. Okay, so what I want to do now is we'll check that our headphones are drying. Yes, it's getting quite hard now, that. So what we can do is trim off those little frayed edges there. So we kind of get a neater section where they've joined.
That looks great.
Like that. Get the idea? So now we'll turn the music player over and we will add some glue. And then we can add a little bit more glue there. And we're going to place the other half of the music player on top so that when we then squash it together, we know that the headphones are going to stay inside
Stay
there.
in.
Yeah. And then we need to use something for the earbuds.
Oh, yes.
So I found something that I think works perfectly, and it's actually from one of the Builder Scene dies.
Okay.
It's a pirate ship skull and crossbones on the flag.
How
So
clever.
this is the skull.
A little skull.
Yeah. So what we're going to do
Amazing.
is turn it over, put some glue on, stick the twine into it, a little bit more glue on top, and then another piece. And then we have our little music player.
Brilliant. That's
So all we
good.
need to do now is to place that into our pocket
There we go.
that we made earlier. Like
so
that.
cute.
So that will just pop in there. Okay, so now we've used the one of the alphabet dies. This is the headliner die. And so what we've done here is I've already cut them out and we've poked the holes out as well. And now I'm going to go over it with the glitter pen, because then it
Okay.
will make the letters glittery. So all you need to do is just go over the top like that. It dries almost instantly, so you find that your letters have that sparkle. So what I'm going to do is put the word cool on first, and I want it to kind of be a little rounded. So if you lay them on there first, making sure you've got enough room for your little exclamation mark at the end. And then now we need to just pop a little bit of glue under the waistband, just to hold the waistband down. And then we can pop a button onto there. I'm just going to use a glue dot at the moment.
And this
It's
is one of
nice
the buttons
quick
from the denim
finish.
collection, isn't it? And it's actually
is, yeah.
covered in
It
denim,
is covered
isn't
in
it?
denim.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, it's beautiful, and there's some smaller ones as well. And again, this is great because you don't have to just use it on your cards. You can, if your buttons come off your jeans, you can pop this on, and you can
yeah.
use it in your home decor and your haberdashery projects and
Definitely.
things. So, and there you have the finished card.
Fantastic. If you've enjoyed Sheila's project today, why not pop over to docrafts.com, where you can find a full list of everything she's used. You can also leave a comment on the video as well. Of course, if you've been crafting, we'd love to see what you've been up to. You can upload your own projects to docrafts.com. If you're after more inspiration, why not sign up to our Facebook page? Hit like and you'll see lots of great tips, tricks, and also there'll be lots of free giveaways and downloads. Until next time, happy crafting.